Thanks for joining us for KBOI 2 News Midday. I'm Kelsey Anderson. Now to your top 11 stories at 11 o'clock. A botched American drone strike has killed 2 hostages held by al-Qaeda, including 1 American. The strike happened in January and killed Warren Weinstein of Maryland, along with an Italian being held hostage. President Obama addressed the media this morning, saying there was no evidence that the 2 men were present in the compound where that strike was taking place. A more in-depth report on this in just minutes. And a Mountain Home Air Force Base colonel has revoked a breastfeeding policy that had some outraged. About a week ago, Colonel David Iverson asked mothers to either go in a private room to breastfeed or use a cover. Some mothers, angered by the new policy, posted their frustrations on social media. But in a statement Colonel Iverson sent out today, he says, quote, "I better understand the concerns regarding breastfeeding in public, and am sorry individuals were offended. The policy was not intended to ostracize anyone, and I regret it had that effect. I will revoke this policy while we look for a better way to accommodate and be respectful of all individuals in our community." And a moose is loose in the North End right now. Our Denny Hawkins is on scene right now and says Fish and Game is coming up with a game plan to tranquilize the animal and get it back into the woods. Boise Police is on scene and is asking onlookers to stay away from the Elm Grove Park for the time being. Officers told us it's the same moose that went on a run near Warm Springs and the Greenbelt last year. A father and his 15-year-old daughter were able to escape a home that caught fire early this morning. Boise Police and Eagle Fire responded to the 2-alarm blaze on Rygate Drive just before 3 o'clock. Firefighters say the fire started in a shed outside but was spreading quickly when crews arrived.
Found a shed located to the left side of the residence that was heavily involved in fire. And the fire had extended up the side of the house and up into the attic space. And as a result of where it was in proximity to the neighboring house, there was some damage to the house next door to it.
Fortunately, no one was hurt in that blaze and no word yet on a cause. A babysitter in northern Idaho is found innocent after being accused of killing a 2-year-old who was in her care. The Lewiston Tribune reports Natasha Hodges was cleared of first-degree murder charges Wednesday. Hodges was accused of striking the toddler in the abdomen back in 2012, tearing a major vein. But the defense argued the toddler was diagnosed with pancreatitis after death, and it wasn't clear when that vein was ruptured. And a dog is recovering this morning after the animal was shot by a Meridian police officer yesterday. Officers say they were arresting a wanted man when the pit bull came running out of the backyard and acted aggressively toward the officer and his canine. A spokesman for the department says the officer had no choice but to shoot the dog. And body camera footage is no help in this investigation because that officer wasn't wearing one.
It draws a picture. It tells the whole story. It tells everything that happened, and it kind of validates what we're saying.
The lieutenant says the department is still training with those cameras and only 3 officers are using them at this point. The officer who shot the dog was not wearing that camera. A man accused of murdering a homeless man is expected in court today. Scotty Turnbull is expected to enter a plea on charges of murder and aggravated battery. Turnbull is accused of beating a man to death under the Americana Bridge, as well as attacking 2 other people. And take a good look here. Nampa police need your help tracking down a stolen boat and jet ski. Officers are searching for this blue Dodge pickup. You can see that personal watercraft being towed behind the truck. This photo was taken April 7th from a business on East Franklin Road in Nampa. Police say the boat was taken a week later. If you've seen the pickup or know who may have driven this vehicle, call Crime Stoppers at 343-COPS. The murder of Emmett Corrigan in 2011 at a local drugstore shook the community. He was a husband gunned down by another man with whom his wife was having an affair. Now the 2 women at the center of this story, Corrigan's widow and the woman who had the affair, are sitting down with Dr. Phil to talk about what's happened following the trial.
I don't want to put any blame on you, by no means. You are
I didn't do anything wrong.
You didn't. And I've always said that. I've never said you did anything wrong.
And
well,
Emmett
actually, you have.
Well, I did.
You said that she's making a career out of this, that she's
that
she's
part,
writing
yeah.
about you, that she doesn't have the right to express her opinion, and that you wish she would just shut up, get over it, and move on.
I wish she would stop writing about me.
I wish she would have
using my name.
stopped sleeping with my husband.
Yeah, well,
You know.
Gets heated. You can watch that full hour-long sit-down with Ashley Burke and Candy Hall today on Dr. Phil. That starts at 3 right here on KBOI 2. And this is sweet. Right now, elementary schoolers are planting 155 yellow flowers in remembrance of the children who died in the Holocaust. Students at Camas County Elementary are doing the planting. Each flower represents 10,000 kids who died, and each flower has 6 petals representing the Jewish star. One lane of the road to one of Boise's favorite marinas is now back open. The Army Corps of Engineers closed the road across Lucky Peak Dam yesterday morning while working on some equipment under the pavement. But one lane of that road opened up about an hour ago. Until both lanes are back open, boaters are advised to use Spring Shores Marina instead.